Well, we'll go ahead and call to order our annual meeting. First item on the agenda is to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
We will move on to item B, approval of the minutes from our working session and board meeting from last week.
Make the motion to approve the minutes of the work session.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Carried. All right. Item C is our treasurer's report. Lynette, I think over to you.
Yes. Hold on, I need to pull it up. Y'all motioned very too quickly, so
We
that
didn't allow you appropriate click time.
you did not.
Back to that again.
I know we are. Okay. What you have in front of you, what was in your book, is just a year, and this is not the audit report. That will come later once I have the finalized audit back. In essence, it kind of gives you the same data that we do in the audit report. It's just we're required by Iowa Code to officially close out the books with the annual meeting and the change of the board. So that's what this is doing. I'm not going to go page by page. You guys have seen it. For those that are watching, they can definitely go out on our website and see it as well. It is just a fiscal year end review of where we are at. We ended last year better than we ended the year before. We were sitting in a little better situation, but some of that was planned. Well, all of that was planned. We know that we will be having to make some tough decisions coming forward. We know that we lost 50 kids this year. We have projections to continue to lose kids. As stated in this summary at the end, our SSA is unpredictable as well as low on an annual basis. And so all of that combined just makes finance a little tougher in the district. And we've taken good steps. And when I say we, you guys as the board has taken great steps, has supported us as administration, both when Kristen was here and then, of course, now with Jen, when we bring you scenarios and situations and explain what we need and why. You guys have been very supportive, and that shows in these numbers. But we'll be having, some of these tough conversations coming forward as well.
Hey, just one thing, Lynette, when I was reading through here, I couldn't remember if the supplemental state aid doesn't increase much or we get low, that just means locally we have to fund that through local levies. Right?
Yes. So they call that budget guarantee. Right. So we're guaranteed that 1% increase for the first year. So that would just be for this next school year, and we will be on that. They're telling us right now, preliminary, I mean, they haven't even gone to session yet, but preliminary, we're hearing from our people, not the legislators, but our people, to plan on, 1%. And so everything that we're projecting and looking at, we're budgeting off of a 1%. We hope that that's a worst case scenario. And that's putting us $460,000 in budget guarantee for next year.
Say, would that even matter if, say, they did come back at a 2.5% or 3%? Would we still be on budget guarantee?
We would. Yep.
Because of the drop.
It would have to be because of the drop. The drop is
yes.
You would have to look at almost 7% increase. I mean, that's not happening. I can bet everything I own on that's not going to happen. So we'll be on a budget guarantee and we'll address that, and we'll adjust. If you guys remember, we've had cash reserve levies go up the last couple of years to try and build that cash up. You can see that in this report that it has built it up. We're on it again this year. And so we'll take another step at the end of fiscal year 26. We'll adjust that back down. We're going to have to go for the budget guarantee to get those funds. And so we'll shift that.
Okay.
Any other questions on the report itself? Anything else for that matter?
Other questions? Well, thanks a lot, Lynette.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely.
It's always helpful. All right. Item D, review and approve depositories and maximum
You need
amount
to
on
approve
deposit.
that.
Yeah, this is an item that we do have to approve us to have. These are the maximums we can have at these institutions.
Yep. And then I have to, at the end of every year, I have to go and have them fill out the form showing how much we had with them at the end of June.
Gotcha.
So that's, we got a CD is what we have at F&M, and that is, we have to have that reserve fund for our bond, our revenue bond. And so I bid that out just depending on the terms, whatever people have for specials. That's actually coming up here pretty soon, so I'll be bidding that out again. And then Citizen State has all of our regular depositories.
I'll make the motion to approve the depository and maximum amounts.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Move on to item E, which is accepting the canvass of school board elections from this past November. So this is the official recognition that Marsha will be joining us shortly at our board meeting, and then that I've been put on for another 4 years. You guys are stuck with me for a few more years, I guess.
And that Jamie is resigning.
And that
from his
Jamie
position.
has not
We
run again,
don't
so
approve that. Can we force Jamie into another 4?
you can try.
No. The
You had
people,
your
the
chance to
people
write
have
it.
spoken.
The people.
People have spoken.
Well, I did notice that Marcia in your district only got 8 write-in votes, and I got 12. So
I wasn't gonna bring it up, but
I noticed that. So I assumed all 12 or 8 of those were probably write-ins for you, but there was more
or
than that
just-
opposed for me. Right?
4 more people don't like you.
That must be it. All right, we have a motion to accept the canvass for school board election.
I move to accept the canvass school board election from November 4th, 2025.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. All right, so now the part that everybody's been waiting for, which is comments from any outgoing board members. So do we have any of those?
1 member. Yeah, that's me. I just want to say thanks to everybody. When I came on 4 years ago, we were kind of coming off the end of COVID, and then we went to Lynette's favoriteest thing of all time, construction. But we got a pretty good product out of that, and over the, kind of reflecting over the last 4 years what we've done here, it makes you proud of some of the things that we've done here, and beautiful facilities. Brownfield is now a multi-purpose facility, and few new administrators. Rudy outlasted me, unfortunately, but and they tell you when you get on the board that it's some of the most rewarding work that you do. You think they just tell you that to get you to come, but it really is. So thanks to everybody, the 2 boards. I see other board members that I was on with, Sam and Bruce, and all of you guys as well. So thanks to everybody. And Marcia, I think I've got a gift for you to welcome you in over on that table over there. As thank you.
Well, Jamie, we wanted to give you a plaque to recognize, and so you can hang up and show off to your kids. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, good. Yeah. Take it home with your kids, right? Good. All right, well, thanks. Anybody, you have anything else, or we're good? Yeah, really appreciate all you've done.
Out the door.
Exactly. I don't know what Lynette's going to do now that she's not going to get pictures of you with 2 other board members just to try and make her nervous all the time. So
That is a rule. If you go anywhere and you're with someone, you got to send pictures
that's right.
to Lynette.
To Lynette. Well, good. Well, thanks a lot, Jamie. Really appreciate all you've done. All right. With that, we can entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. We will close the annual meeting.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thanks a lot, Jamie. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jamie. Why are we moving?
Let me just.
Okay, everybody set over there? We good? You have your, get Marcia, get her microphone.
It's awkward. It's okay. It's awkward for everybody.
Just making sure it works. Can you hear her? Do a test to Joe. Just say test, test, test. You good?
Try to turn down.
Okay, if everybody's situated, I am going to go ahead and call the organizational board meeting to order at 5:11 p.m. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda? We do have 3 additions, 2 resignations, and a hire. So Chevelle Hookham will be a special education middle school associate. And then the resignations will be Carl Krogman, food service at Lambert, and Mark Wiley, bus driver.
I'll make the motion. Second.
Okay. Not used to hitting Steve. Did you second, Carl?
Yes. Second.
All in
Steve's
favor,
motion.
say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, you will see on your desk the next thing we will do the election of president. You will see 2 little pieces of paper. Please write your name and who you would like to vote for the president, and then we'll do the same thing here in a minute for vice president. These will be read aloud, so please fill out who you would like.
It's okay.
Okay, for the record, it is Steve Biesing voted for Steve Biesing, Luke Emsland voted for Steve Biesing, Carl Johnson voted for Steve Biesing, Marcia Glanz voted for Steve Biesing, and John Warden voted for Steve Biesing. Congratulations, Mr. President. All right, you've got 2 of you turn it in, but the other 3, you've got your vice president. If you please fill those out. All right, for vice president, Steve Biesing voted for Luke Emsland, John Warden voted for Luke Emsland, Carl Johnson for Luke Emsland, actually Dr. Luke Emsland, Marcia Glanz voted for Luke Emsland, and Luke Emsland voted for Luke. Congratulations on vice president. Before we get those oaths of office, I need to do the 2 of you, or maybe just go in front, to the board members. Nope, not you, Marcia. I need to swear you guys in as new board members before we can take office. Okay, Marcia and Steve, do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, and that you will faithfully and impartially, to the best of your ability, discharge the duties of the office of Board of Directors in the West Delaware County Community School District as now and hereafter required by law?
I do.
I will.
Perfect. Thank you. Congratulations. You can stay up. Nope, you're good. Steve, do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, and that you will faithfully and impartially, to the best of your ability, discharge the duties of the office of President in the West Delaware County Community School District as now and hereafter required by law?
Well,
Congratulations.
thank you.
And Steve? Nope. Luke?
And Luke?
Whoever's next? Anybody? Luke, do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, and that you will faithfully and impartially, to the best of your ability, discharge the duties of the office of Vice President in the West Delaware County Community School District as now and hereafter required by law?
I will.
Congratulations.
I do. Yes, I do.
All right. Steve, you can start with 3C.
I get 3C.
You
Okay.
get 3C.
All right. All right, on to item 3C, which is setting our meeting dates, times, and places for 2026. You'll see the list. We're sticking with generally the second Monday at 6 o'clock. The only two edits to that are Fair Week in July and then December 14th. Just like this meeting, we're going to start early to accommodate for the music concert. So are there anyone else who has a conflict with one of those that we want to address now? Those dates. And then we'll be meeting in the media center still as well.
It's a motion item.
I don't know. Yeah, is it? Okay.
I move that we approve the set meeting times, meeting dates, times, and places for 2026.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carried. All right, move on to item 4, our consent items.
You will see here there's a couple extra things in our consent. The first one being the approval of Allers and Cooney Law Firm as potential legal representation. They're the #1 school attorney in the state. We've used them. I mean, I don't want to say all schools, but 99% of all schools use them for all legal issues. And we are required by law, Iowa Code every year, to put this in. And the same thing with Manchester Press being our district's legal representation for publication. So we are required by law to approve that on an annual basis too. The rest of it is as it always is, but those two are due to the organizational part of the meeting.
I thought it was interesting that all the first readings of policies were all
Board.
around the board organization stuff
Yes,
this
I know,
month.
the
That was
timing was-
timeliness
yeah.
of that was
Yeah.
great.
And this is, who proposes the changing of the wording of all that, the IASB? The only one that I thought was interesting was the qualifications one, basically scratched all the qualifications and replaced it with a paragraph.
Some of it I don't understand either. There's sometimes we don't take their
And actually,
either, but
this is the meeting where we approve the hires and the resignations. So I stated the approval agenda with those included. This is where the resignations and hires are. So it'll be part of this
Part of this item,
this
this motion item.
organizational, motion item.
Yep, thanks.
Those 3 people.
Any other comments from anyone? Bills got approved this month, I assume?
Yes, they did.
You had those? All right, if there's any other questions?
I motion that we approve the consent items, including the resignation and hiring. As they were amended, additions.
I will second that.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, item number 5, announcements and communications. Comments from the public. Board will listen to any comments from the public, but please be advised that we cannot comment or discuss anything not on the published agenda. Peanut Gallery is going to speak today. All right. We do have, I'm assuming, are you a student? For government? Perfect.
Sweet.
So what we like to do is during this time, we just ask you to introduce yourself. Tell us kind of, your name, what grade you're in, and then if you have any plans after high school you have, just to.
My name is Maddie Detmeyer. I'm a 12th grader, and after high school, I plan on attending Hawkeye Community College for Ag Business and Marketing.
Awesome. Great. Well, thanks for being here.
All your friends to come. It's fun.
Yes. It's fun and you get extra credit even.
Right? Yeah.
All right, we'll move on to item B, Friends of Music.
They met November 19th. I haven't seen the minutes from the meeting yet, but I have a plug. So this Saturday is the greatest winter wonderland cookie concert taking place here in Hanson Auditorium. 2 shows, 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock. It's going to highlight some of the talent of our students. It's a free will donation. Cookies and drinks provided after the concert. Santa and the Grinch will both be there. So encourage the community to come and support our music students. This is a New York City fundraising. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks, Carl. And I lost my spot. The Athletic Booster Club they didn't meet, so it's great. So we heard that from the cheap seats. Okay, we'll move on to academic.
Academic does not meet this month. They'll meet in December
In December.
or January of next
January.
year.
Sorry. Okay. Great. All right, thanks for the updates. Item 6, then we'll move on to second reading of policies. I think there were a lot of updates no follow-ups from anything last month. I didn't think there was.
Move to approve the second reading of policies.
Second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. All right, on to item 7, our administrator and director reports.
Yeah, so this month, I wanted to give you guys kind of a heads up on some conversations we've been having. We're in the early stages talking with NICC about a possible use for the Hawk Center. It would result in more in-person college credit courses for our kids. So Mr. Sfari and Mr. Weiss went ahead and put out a survey to our students to kind of help with planning that and identify what areas or what courses they might be most interested in if that comes to fruition, what types of things we could be able to offer through that. And so I put some of those responses in there. You can we had a really good representation, 238 responses, and it was we got a good mix from every class, so that was good to see that in the responses. And the top 5 subject areas were business, health and PE, fine arts, family and consumer science, industrial tech, when we talk about content areas that they're most interested in. And then when we talk about career areas, the top 3 were health sciences, business, and then skilled trades and construction, followed closely by education and human services. So listening to our kids, we'll share this with NICC just to see what type of opportunities might be able to come from that. And like I said, we're in the early stages, but I just wanted you guys to have a heads up.
And the Hawk Center is the place north of Brownfield, right in between that and Lambert, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Do you think that NICC has a lot of classes, or at least has offered classes that are pretty connected with those identified subjects and what was the other one, careers?
Yeah.
So we have all this interest, and I assume that this kind of matches what our students are currently taking.
Through PIC classes,
Through
they have
PIC.
some of these, yeah. We just are looking to try to get more in person based
That's
on
the
the
big difference.
strategic plan
Rather than being
survey.
virtual,
some
then
of
they can
that.
make them in person.
Mhm.
Okay.
Close
see what
enough
we-
to walk to.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, the location's great for that. That it's close by, they can run over there for a course and still be part of the day here too. And so, yeah, there's a lot that needs to happen between now and if anything should happen. But I just wanted you guys to have a heads up that we think it'd be a good thing for our kids, and we have the building to be able to pull something like that off. So
If that was to happen, that would be a 2026 or a summer of 26 was when you get ready for the
start getting
26 school
ready.
year.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's some work. Gary's done some walkthroughs with us too. There's some things that we need to do to the Hawk Center to get it ready. It's been, Head Start is in there right now. We would still work with Head Start, but just looking at some things that need to be updated. And so we've kind of started that conversation too. You know, they have the CNA courses, and so there would need to be some modifications to a room over there to make a health lab where we could continue to offer some of those things there. So, yeah,
That's great.
we'll see.
Are they relocating no matter what, or
I don't think so. I mean,
Okay.
I know they don't love where they are right now, but I don't know that there's any other options.
They're just looking at options.
They're looking at
least right now.
options, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
How much space do they use right now?
Over there, they have two classrooms and an office area. So they would gain quite a bit over here compared to what they have now. They have the
What is
CNA
here?
room.
What is there? Is there
Gosh, there's the
5?
5. There's 4 on the right side and then a mix of small ones and then a bigger one on that left side too.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Is this gonna be open to just the high school kids, or is it gonna be open to an ICC student, period?
That's what those are conversations we still need to have. I don't have a straight answer for that right now.
Because do they do it now, like at night at DuPac?
They don't have a ton of in-person. They have their CNA, and that's open to anybody at this point. But outside of that, I don't know that they really offer.
Is there a possibility that they would be interested in doing that?
Potentially,
That we would become a satellite?
yeah, maybe possibly that'd be something to think about for sure.
That's great.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
She'll have a contract.
Yeah.
So-
It'll be a lease agreement.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because we talked about, making sure that there's seats for our kids. Like if we go that route, we want to make sure that our kids get dibs on, some of the seats that are available, and that if we go that there will be classes offered and things like that we need to work through. So once we'll continue talks with NICC, and we'll have our legal representation look at any agreements too, to make sure that we're doing everything the right way.
That's great. Good.
And then the last thing I had in my report was just a scorecard, which we had that at the work session
Work
a while
session.
back. So not much has changed in there.
Continuing to push us along that path. That's great. Talk more about that I know later.
Yep.
I think it's really neat to see the chronic absenteeism be such a strong focus in an identifiable characteristic that we are able to see and track and ask and then come up with the plan.
Yeah, very-
And to see the data with that, I think that's amazing. That's something that the community can see and
It's visible in the building. The kids can see it.
Yeah, that was yeah, so making it visible so that the students can see the attendance level is. I know I saw it on yours at the middle school. Is it the same at the high school too, Matt? Do you guys have anything that
No, it's not.
the staff can see it? Well, I liked in the middle school one how Jackie, you're making it almost a bit of the competition aspect. Are you seeing that drive just from that age group? I would assume that drives quite a bit of behavior and peer pressure. Oh, Jackie, make sure. Microphone.
We're hoping not too much peer pressure the other way, because sometimes it's outside their locus of control, but they do love when they have any extra time for recess. Any time to
It's a good
get
motivating
outside,
factor
even
for
when
all.
it's freezing cold, so a lot of them came up with the incentives too, instead of us, trying to think of what they want. They had a lot of student input from those groups.
Great.
popcorn all day. I noticed that.
They love
And hat
popcorn.
day and lights off all day.
Yep. Janitors don't like popcorn, but the kids do.
Yeah.
Yeah, across all of these areas, across all three schools, I do like the data that you guys are showing in progress. So it's helpful for us to kind of stay in to understand where you guys are focused at.
Joe, I was surprised by the increase in electronic component pricing, and maybe we can shop around and try to get. I think you mentioned some of them are almost twice as much as they were.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
hard.
past.
Too, when I was looking, some of it is like you might find some cheaper ones places, but you're not going to have the quantity that we need. But I'm hoping maybe with New Year and as it gets closer to more people buying them, that maybe some stock will increase too. That might help.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a shock when I went to go purchase some here.
We need to make our
try
own,
to-
I guess.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, it was last ones we bought. I think were around like 190, and the ones I was looking at were 360. So that was kind of quite a hop up from what it had been.
They haven't changed in a long time.
No, and it's been like I've bought similar pricing for a while. So I mean, like, it's not something that's gone up a whole bunch. Thankfully, it's the way I'm looking at hopefully doing in the future. We might be buying like spreading it out, buying over 4 years rather than just 3 years. So that might help kind of that budget. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm hopeful that at least it'll come down some. At least if I can get it into the $200 realm, I'd feel a little better than the $300 spot. Because trying to find certain things too, like touchscreens are great. Kids love touchscreens. Touchscreens are expensive, and kids are the number one thing kids break are screens. So if we can get ones that aren't like that are cheaper to fix, stuff like that too.
You mind if we talk about bus driver
No,
shortage
that
for a
was really
minute?
the next thing I was going to ask about. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Gary, your write-up was really good. You know, when I looked at that, what can we do as a school board? It seems like we're competing with others. Are we losing on price? Are we losing on there's just not available people? If 3 or 4 of our regular employees are driving every day, what does that mean? Do we have the ability to contract out the other bus service where if we know we need it, can we get a longer term contract to get the price to come down at all? Or I mean, it seems like I feel bad that I wish there was something that we could do to ensure we had more drivers. There appears to be a shortage everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really lost any drivers because they quit and went to another school. We're just most of our drivers are at retirement age and they're retiring. You know, I told you what I feel is the biggest thing is there's no benefits involved. People need health insurance benefits. I know Lynette has looked into that in the past. Pay, we're not the lowest, but we're definitely not the highest around our area. And I don't know. I've heard of a school district in Iowa that offered $32 an hour to drive its school bus. They had to bring everybody up to that point. And they didn't get any new ones.
Wow.
So the government has made it so hard to become a bus driver, to get your CDL, I mean, this early or entry level driver's training is something we never had before. I would train them right at the bus barn, and then I would take them to DOT. They would drive for the DOT. We'd be good to go. Now there's just so much training, and a lot of it is online. And some of your older candidates, they're like, I don't do computers, so no, I'm not doing it, you know. Everybody's in the same situation we're in. We're just now getting into it. We've always been able to have enough drivers, but with a couple recent retirements, and then illnesses, you know, they go on vacation, you know, and you know, we now have girls wrestling. We never had that before, you know, so the demand is even higher. We're still sitting at 12 routes. We're calling about the same amount of students we have for many years. Even though our enrollment's gone down,
Must be losing them in the city center,
Um,
or they're moving farther away.
well, we haul St. Mary's, so St. Mary's pulled,
Oh, it's
they
pulling
got
some of
some
that
of
stuff.
ours, so I'm still hauling them.
Yep.
So, and part of it is many students ride more than one school bus. Because they're with dads this week, moms next week. So that's 2 seats they're taking up, I wish I had the answer. I've tried, we put a bus out by Easy Pickens. We're constantly running ads. Everybody I talk to, I'm like, hey, you want to drive a school bus? Most of them say no or laugh at me. We have a $1,000 sign-on bonus. If one of my existing drivers brings somebody into me, they get $1,000 too.
Good.
It's just
Well, that'd
not
probably be
all-
the plea for anybody watching online. Is, do you know anybody who you think
Yeah,
has the
there-
capacity and the availability we're
I
in
mean,
heavy need?
so a lot of people have this mentality that the school buses, the kids are out of control and it's just crazy and everything, because they hear it here and there, I would like anybody just to ride a bus one day, just to see, it is a challenging job. We have basically 2 classrooms worth of students, and we have to drive a school bus and maintain discipline and everything on the bus. So it's not an easy job. We've been fortunate enough in the past to keep the drivers we have, but now they're getting at retirement age. So, and I have a couple that are working on their training right now as subs. Their availability is not going to be. They don't want to route. They already have a job.
They want to be your
So,
backups.
yeah. So if anybody has any ideas, we'd be glad to try it.
And we have some people who split and drive only AM or
Yeah,
PM.
we have
That's an
some
option
people that
too.
have a job during the day, so they'll drive mornings for me, but they can't drive afternoons. We're getting real creative right now. I had to charter a trip last week.
That's what we heard for one of the sports.
This Friday, I'm chartering a bus from Al Krogman, just because I don't have enough vans. I don't, these our teams are large, and you can't get them on too many vans. I have 2 12-passenger vans. I have 4 8-passenger vans, and then I have 4 7-passenger vans. Just doesn't add up when you have a team that's 48,
Right.
38, Plus, then they have to have drivers, and not all the teams have drivers.
Have you run cost analysis on extracurricular, sporting events? What that looks like, contracting that, the difference? Because I know there's some schools that do that, and depends on which way you look at it. You could borderline save maybe, but
Yeah, so Lynette and I have done a comparison. Basically, it costs about double what it does
Okay.
for us to drive our school bus. But we don't have a driver to drive our school bus.
Kind of a moot
but
point.
financially, I just don't know if that's the answer
right.
every time, or even they, like WinStar struggles finding drivers too. So I called them up for another football game one time, and they were like, "We don't have a driver." So everybody's in the situation.
One thing I think we can talk about at our next joint legislative session, we didn't discuss that, but maybe that's a higher priority in the future when we meet, or if we do Day at the Hill or whatever.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, or at the convention.
Well, but the downside is, it sounds like the challenge isn't necessarily funding. We got to figure out how to solve the problem.
Yeah, if we could figure out how to entice drivers to come here, we could sell that idea to everybody, and we would be rich.
Yeah.
Because everybody's in the same situation we're in. They tried, Macocata Valley has tried making their custodians drive. I mean, then you can't find custodians.
Right.
It's
A lot of this has got to be some of the word of mouth, and people know who's got capacity
Find
out
the
there
right people.
in their network, and finding the right people who can get the training.
So $1,000 signing bonus.
And $1,000 signing bonus.
If anybody's interested.
We'll take it.
we've talked about upping that. Should we up that? But what about our drivers that have been driving for us for 40 years, 30 years? that's kind of a slap in the face for them, you know, if we don't do something for them also.
Right.
And financially, I just don't know if that it's feasible. But we have to do something. We're at the point now to where we may have to not go through some sporting events, which I haven't had to do yet. You know, we've been creative. I've rented vans. I've done a lot of different things. So, but we got to get the kids home. We haul about 650 on our 12 routes, and our district's 235 square miles. It's not like we're kind of limited on that hour too. You know, they can only ride an hour if they're elementary school.
On extracurricular activities, would it make sense to look at maybe having parents drive the vans and get them whatever training or certification they need to drive the school vehicle?
Yeah, they actually wouldn't need any training.
But would
We do
they
run
need to do something, right?
They have to fill out the
Yeah, they have
paperwork
to,
with Renee.
we do
Yeah.
a background check on them, basically a driving background check to make
So
sure.
would that be something that we could look in the future? I know when we went to Clear Lake for football, the 3 coaches drove the vans, and that actually for the kids was better. I mean, you're not on a cramped bus, and they get to move around just a little bit more, and it's a little
This
less
yeah.
chaotic.
This Friday, every van that we own will be out, and a bus.
Would it make sense to start looking at buying more 12-passenger vans instead of buses?
Yeah, I just bought the 12 passenger, and they're hard to find because every school wants them just like we do.
The thing is that they have to be used.
They have to be used, yeah.
You can't buy a new 12 passenger. We can only buy a used 12 passenger. We can buy a new 8, but we can't buy a new 12. We can use a 12 if we can find a
So when you're talking to your administrators, ask them why.
That's a law.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Nobody understands it.
Let's say,
Make any
what
sense.
is the theory behind that one?
Been a good question to ask our lawmakers.
Yeah. I was going to say there's a
Donate it?
business opportunity for somebody in there, I
Yeah.
think,
Say,
right?
can you lease it?
I don't know that answer. I'm assuming not. Can we lease them? A 12 passenger? I don't know that.
I don't know.
I
we
don't
can
know
even
the
lease,
answer to
can we?
that either.
I mean, it's worth looking into.
Because, I mean, I would assume Rundy has that availability at their different locations.
So I don't know if we can lease them or not, because they have to be, I'm sure we could lease them actually, but they would still have to be inspected twice a year, just like the
Right.
school bus and everything that we do now. I don't see any reason why we couldn't leasing. Leasing usually isn't financially sound.
Not when you're putting the miles that we're going to put on them.
Right.
I mean, that's the thing is we'll be paying out our year on overage.
Can we
So
lease them and then buy them after the lease is up? It's used.
John is looking for any little loophole.
Well,
That's good, I like it. yeah.
Obviously, the legislature is not giving us loopholes, so
Yeah, make
we
our
have to
own.
figure it out.
Yeah.
So I think like maybe at our next cabinet meeting,
We'll
you
talk
know,
Thursday,
we'll look
yeah.
through finances and see if we can afford to buy another 12 passenger this year. It helps. You know, now that we have 2, everybody wants them, you know.
Right,
like,
they're
"I'll pick
popular."
12. I only got 2, sorry.
Well, but to John's other point, I think where you're starting to see gaps is you can identify them early. I know as a parent, if somebody called me, I'd jump in and drive in a second. I know there's others that would. So I think
Yeah.
figuring out how to help solve your problem there,
Well, and sometimes there's parents who are staff members already that,
that can
Could possibly
makes it
drive a
even
van
easier
or-
too.
yeah. yeah, we'll talk Thursday. And
That's good. Thanks for bringing it up. For an issue, as I found out today. Rudy, some continued good progress from your ODRs and all the behavior stuff. Any kind of thoughts on kind of where you take it or what you have to do to sustain it? Any, I don't know, just kind of observations on what you're gonna go with next, or how you're gonna make sure you have some good staying power.
Hopefully I don't have to go with anything
Well,
next.
I mean, kind of how you're gonna make sure the staying power, how it stays.
Right now, what I'm trying to do is to keep this data in front of us, because I think success, seeing how successful it is, will be what motivates us. I mean, when you talk to teachers right now and subs that have been coming into our building over the years, they see and notice the difference.
There's a big sea change from what was
Absolutely.
to what is.
We're
I'm
hearing a lot
assuming,
of that.
looking at what you're writing up, that's how I would interpret it. So
Yeah.
great news.
And I think that in itself will help keep it going. It's not hard to maintain the fidelity. And when we become aware of things that people have tweaked, we've jumped on that. And
Good.
And yeah, it just
Well,
keeps
sometimes
working.
it's the visibility, like you said. I mean, to me, it's just keep it visible and keep it forefront of all of your minds. I'm afraid when other initiatives start shining bigger than it, that's when it will
Sure.
potentially wane. So, really encouraging progress. Any questions or discussions on the reports? Thanks, everybody. Appreciate that. All right, we'll move on to number 9, new business. Approval of our new mission and vision statement.
Yeah, so just to give you guys some background about, this has been months in the making. It started with the strategic plan survey, and we took kind of those results and formed some general themes that we saw throughout the responses and things like that, and took that to our SIAC committee in late October. And they wordsmithed, and we laid out a few options in front of them, and they came up with their top 3, and then sent those after they kind of, like I said, wordsmithed a little bit, sent those on to staff, and then used those results to narrow it down to what you see in front of you. We tried to take what we knew about, we wanted something that was going to be somewhat catchy, but also timeless, that would not be a fad, we would need to do it again in short order. Something that my goal for it is that people know exactly what it is and can rattle it off their tongue. I've given this example to the staff, I think, but my first job 20 years ago was at Pleasant Valley, and I still remember what their emblem looked like: committed to excellence. Like, that's something that stuck with me, and because it was short, to the point. It applies in a lot of different avenues of what we do, and so that's what we were hoping for here. And so you'll see that for ours, we have inspire excellence for our mission. That's the kind of the tagline part of it, and then learn together, lead together, and serve together for the vision.
So then we met at a working session
Yes,
about a
that was
month
the
ago,
final,
and,
yeah.
and kind of went through and talked through different options, and I think we all were fairly aligned with the, as you said, the conciseness of this is one of the keys that I think. I mean, what I really liked about it is the inspiring excellence. To me, I think, is, to your point, is a good timeless mission that I think we all have that can be broad enough, but the fact that we're focusing on learning, leading, and serving in a together fashion, I think it's, I know it helped me at least draw a good vision of where we want to go, and I think we can connect what we're doing to it. So
Once we approve, what's the next step to make this visible or?
So I've
Sure.
started, pending your guys' approval, but working with the Donovan Group just to see what kind of visual we can come up with that incorporates this. And once we get some options from them, we'll talk about that administratively, and I'll kind of keep you guys posted on that progress too. But hopefully have some sort of, I don't know, just a visual that will be easy to recognize, and we'll know what it is right away.
excellent.
I move that we approve the new mission vision statement.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thanks, motion carried. Item B, approving the Northwest College MOU for clinical placements.
And this is just one of those student teaching agreements.
Move to approve the Northwestern College memo of understanding for clinical placements.
I will second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item C, approving the contract with Ellen's Stardust Diner as part of the NYC trip. This again is not something we paid for. We just have to approve the contractual aspect, right?
Yep.
Probably should send someone to sample it.
That
Carl,
price.
what was
I
yours?
guess I'll
For that price, it must be good.
go. They've done this every year that they've gone.
I move that we approve the Stardust, Ellen Stardust Diner for New York City music trip contract.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item D, approving the at-risk dropout prevention plan and modified supplemental request.
Doesn't matter. We do this every year, so I can address the budget component. Jen can address the plan if you want. So the state tells us how much we are allowed to get. You can see that is under the modified supplemental amount. By approving this amount, the $306,595, that does give us authority, the spending authority that we want, and then it does allow us, if we choose to, when the time comes, we can tax for that money. It does require a 25% match out of our general fund, so the $102,198 would have to come out, so for a total of $409,000. So the thing that's a little bit annoying, to be honest, is again, just like your district cost per pupil, different schools receive different amounts in this too. And it's tied to your number, it's tied to your pupils, but as far as what percentage you get, and we are, it is anywhere from 3%. You can see on line 3, where it's 0.03 times line 1 times line 2. It ranges from 0.03 to 0.05. And, we're at the lowest. So all of that, I just feel like is kind of.
Is most of that because our dropout rate is low? Is that what it's based
No,
on?
it's set.
It's
It was set kind of like your district cost per pupil. It was set a long time ago, and there's just never been any changes. So it has nothing to do with our dropout. I mean, it doesn't change on a regular basis or on an annual basis. There's no basis behind it other than that's what it was set at years and years and years ago.
The 1970s thing that we talked about.
Yep,
Okay.
same kind of concept. So, when I see things like that, every little bit counts. And so it's always kind of a smidge annoying, but that's what the modified supplemental amount is, and that's how much we're asking for, the full amount, of course.
Okay.
If you want to hit the plan.
Yeah, so we use this money in a number of different ways. It helps fund some of our counselors' salaries for the work they do in supporting our at-risk students. It also helps with district reading and math support, so intervention is covered by this money as well if there's extra opportunities for that for students. Our alternative programming at the high school, so anything with Mr. Coates comes through this program. I'm trying to think what I'm forgetting. Our social workers are also covered under this umbrella too. So a lot of good things happen here, but then the thing that we also need to remember is whenever we overspend, that overage comes out of the general fund. So we have to be looking at everything, when we talk
So this
about.
helps by supplementing some things that we know we need.
Yep. It's just the overage.
Gotcha.
We've got to make sure that we're mindful of that because ultimately that comes out of general fund. So this is something
Okay.
that we'll be taking a look at too, just to make sure that we can try to get in line with
Optimize
the
the
actual
discussion.
amount that we get from the state. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Why the decrease in brain health liaison? There's
Because we share her.
We share with
Oh.
Independence. That was yeah.
Okay.
And then the social worker, which I don't know if last year's was, but that's a little bit cheaper this year because we used to share with the AEA. And then when we hired on our own, it was less money
cheaper.
to do that.
Make motion to approve the at-risk dropout prevention plan
And modified supplemental.
and modified supplemental amount request.
Don't leave me out here.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Item E, approving the SBRC application for modified supplemental enrollment out. Not in the prior year for 208,000.
Okay, so these next two that you see will, we have these every year for different things. This is just to give us the authority. Again, we've got, in essence, $208,000 worth of new open enrolled out kids. We don't get the cash. If you remember, in school finance, the money follows a year behind. So we'll have the expense of these kiddos this year, but I won't get the money for them until next year. And so the SBRC allows us to have that authority. So they give us the authority to spend the money, and then we're allowed to tax the money by approving this if we choose to. And that's how we get that money, because I will get bills for these students. This is a big number, you know, it's 24, I think, which is a big number. We do have that many new open enrolled out, but if you remember back to Jen's report, when we looked at the certified enrollment, our net is actually better by 4. So, you know, you have
We got more
graduates.
in,
Yep.
is to offset this.
Yep.
10%.
The difference between the two. You have graduates that, you know, come off the roster, so to speak. You have kids that move that come off your roster. You have kids that come back. We've had some kids come back, but then you have newbies as well. And so these are ones that were not counted last year that are open and rolled out this year. And also keep in mind, when we look at this number, it's not always kids leaving. It could be kids that moved to West Delaware District, and I've always gone to school at Northland, and my parents moved to West Delaware, and I'm not changing schools, you know. Or it could be a kindergartner that never set foot here because my brother goes over here, and so I'm going to follow my brother. So just because it's an increase does not always mean that West Delaware is doing something wrong and we have that many kids leaving, because 90% of the time it is, if not even more, it is the fact that they never actually set foot in our school. They're just either moved in the district and want to stay, or following their siblings.
It's 7,000 per student, roughly.
Almost 8.
Almost 8.
Yep. Like 79, 87 or something like that.
I move to approve the SBRC application for modified supplemental amount for the open enrollment out, not on prior year, in the amount of $208,260.
Second. Marcia seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thanks.
If you're doing the math, Carl, there's categoricals in there as well that
Okay,
don't show up
I'm
on
just
that.
curious. I'm just curious.
I was following
It's
you.
counting.
I was slow on that, but I was following you after the
There's a
fact.
couple beans off.
Thank you, Linda.
All right, move on to item F.
So item F is the same thing as well. We have some students. ELL is your, you know, English is your second language students. And so we have some that we get funding for the first 5 years. And if they require additional assistance prior to 5 years, we'll get, it's a very small amount, but we get a little bit of additional authority. And again, it goes back to authority. So we're getting the authority and the ability to tax for it to help cover that expense beyond 5 years. And we get every authority we can find.
I'll make a motion to approve the SBRC application for modified supplemental amount for ELL beyond 5 years in the amount of $1,677.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carried. All right, on to item G, which is assignments for board representation for 2026. So I think we have pretty much where everybody was currently or previously listed.
Yeah, yep.
So probably one suggestion is, I'm assuming since Luke and John, you guys have done the business things for the last couple of years, and I think that first one is really good, Marcia, for if you want to do that one as a trade-off, because it's an opportunity just to see where the money goes.
Yep.
With that one. That's good.
Instead of who?
John and Luke, do you want to keep going?
Does either one of you want to keep going on that one, or?
On the
If Luke doesn't care, I'll take it because he's busy.
Okay, you'll keep going on that. Okay, so put John and Marcia on that one. Okay. I think I could stay on. I guess we're probably gonna flip the names around for this year for the delegate assembly. If you want to still be the alternate,
No. Luke could be.
you're
The right one.
gonna step away from that one. Put Luke in as the delegate or the assembly delegate alternate, which is
As
the
the
vice
vice
president.
It was pretty low key.
How kind of
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
no
Carl wasn't there to
arguing.
stir the
Carl
pot.
was not there to create the fire.
Right.
We did miss Carl at the board meeting.
Yes,
Yes, we did.
for a number of reasons. besides his cheery disposition, we also provide for other logistics. Okay, the Delaware County Conservation Board.
You can take that one.
That one, all right. The Greater Delaware County one, I can stay on that one. It's more challenging, I think, to change that one too often. So it's been a couple of years.
They kind of expect the board president to be the one there.
Generally,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or the superintendent, and I think
Yeah.
it works well to have the board president.
Yeah, it is nice to be there. All right, Beckman Sports Complex. That's one, Luke, you want
Luke,
to
you
keep
wanna
doing?
I can
or-
continue with that.
Want to continue with that one? Okay. Wellness. I don't think we've been called upon, but
We can,
I
Once a
can
year?
keep them there. Yeah, I think it's been. I
Yeah.
guess it was once this year that where we did have one.
Yeah.
So we could stay on that one, and then being liaisons into the academic, athletic, and Friends of Music. Anybody has any desires to
I'll go over to athletic.
switch to athletic? Okay.
I can do that. What do you want?
it doesn't matter. John, you want to stay on?
Yeah, I'll
academic?
stay on it.
Yeah,
They know
I think
who
you're
I
very
am.
good at that.
Yeah.
Stay on academic. And Marcia wants to do Friends of Music. Is that right?
I can.
Perfect.
It's a Wednesday night at 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who are going to be your alternates then? Because I've got Warden for boost or academic, I've got Imslin for athletic, and Glenn for Friends of Music, but we need the alternates for those as well then, because they can't go.
Johnson, Johnson, and Johnson.
Yeah, yeah. Baby shampoo.
That
How about,
was what I was thinking.
how about I tag John on academic and Marshall on Friends of Music?
Okay.
And then
I can stay on the
Steve, you wanna
athletic one.
stay on-
Yep, that's fine. Great. Well, good. Thanks, everybody. That made it fairly seamless. It's way harder last year. I don't know what's different. All right. Well, with that, we can entertain a motion to approve our representative assignments.
So moved.
Second.
Second for Marcia. All right. All those in favor?
I.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Motion carried. All right. Any other comments from the public? No? No? All right. Anybody who's not a furniture store owner want to talk? No? Okay. All right. Well, all right. Item 11 is our future board meeting
Yes.
sessions. Did we?
Do you want
So
to,
that will be,
if you want to start over with Luke, then I'll
Yeah,
flip
probably
him
good.
eventually, and so we'll
Yeah,
start with
probably
Luke as
start
the
with
vice
Luke again.
president. and
Okay. So Luke will be on for next month.
We'll
so it'll
go
be
on down.
Friday
Do you
the
know what that
9th
is? Did they
at
explain that
7:30.
to you?
Yeah,
No.
just we need
Okay.
to explain
Can
it
you
to Marcia.
mention?
Yeah, so
that is?
thanks for mentioning that, Carl. Yeah, so each month right before the board meeting, the Friday morning before the board meeting, we have a 7:30 meeting with Jen just to review the agenda and go through and just make sure everything's aligned. And then rather than it just being the president and the superintendent, we have one other board member just participate, and we rotate the four of you as as a second person on that. So thanks, Carl, for remembering that.
We'll remind you when it's your mind. Thank you.
Or your computer will.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. All right, with that, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thanks, everybody.